If you're a high ticket coach or consultant, I'm about to show you the 5 ways your funnel is leaking profit every single month and how to fix them so you can start making more money without needing more views. Okay, so the first things first, I hate to say it, I know you hate to hear it, but it's your content. Okay, and your content, the thing is, this doesn't even benefit me to say it all. If your content sucks, nothing else I'm about to show you here even matters. Okay, so we need to fix our content first and foremost, but how do we do that? You got to get people to actually trust you. People are never going to opt into your funnel. They're never going to click the call to action in your bio. They're never going to listen to you if they don't trust you. To buy from you, somebody has to know, like, and trust you. Okay, and the way you get them to trust you is to add value to them. Okay, so that's very simple. All you have to do is solve their problems that you know how to solve in your free content. So if you do that enough times, I'm going to begin to trust you because I'm watching your stuff, I'm listening to you, I'm applying what you're saying, and I'm doing it myself, and it's working. And if that's the case, I'm apt to trust you. And now I'm gonna wanna buy from you eventually. And here's the thing, I know it's know, like, and trust, but at the same time, like if I'm stuck at point A and I'm trying to get to point B, and I know you can get me from point A to point B, and I don't like you that much, I'm still gonna buy from you, right? Because I know you can deliver on the result. And so trust is the most important factor, single-handedly, because I don't need to like you to trust you and know that you can get me to where I need to be. So start adding more value, fix your content, and maybe people will start opting into your funnels. But the second thing is your thank you page. So this is very, very underrated in the sense that a lot of people, especially when they're new, they're not taking advantage of the thank you page. If you're sending them to a Calendly link, it may look something like this, where it just kind of says, thank you for your booking, your appointment's been scheduled, add it to your calendar here, something like that. So this is a huge missed opportunity. Reason being is because now somebody just opted into your funnel, but the job's not done. The only way they're actually going to show up to that call is if they fully justify in their own heads that there is a result that they're looking for on the other side of that call. So if there's a lack of trust at all with you, they're not going to show up. So this is where we take advantage, and you can do another VSL. Okay, so you can have a video. You can do one here that's like a due diligence. So what that means is kind of like, okay, like I know you're going to go research other options. I know you're going to do X, Y, Z. You're going to look up this. Let me just show you who we are and what we do. Kind of just doing the research for them, for yourself, if that makes sense. And then the other one's urgency. So right here, you can prompt them to actually take action quicker because a lot of people opted in, but they're still just not there. They're on the fence. And if you can just get them over that line with this urgency video, they're gonna show up. The other thing on the thank you page is the FAQs. And so you can do this in form of like videos. You can kind of just list a bunch of videos, breakout videos, like 1 to 2 minutes long each, and they can go through and they can just answer all the questions that you know the prospect has. Or if you know you don't want to do all that, you can also just have the FAQs there in text, right? That's not a huge deal, not the end of the world, as long as you have something. But this right here is very powerful because if you don't have this at all, you're missing a huge opportunity to nurture the lead further. Like I said, just because a lead filled out your stuff does not mean they're going to show up to that call, and it does not mean you're going to get paid. All right, so you need them to show up. You need to continue to nurture even after they fill out your stuff. The third thing here is going to be tracking. Okay, and I like to track with Google Analytics and Google Tag Manager. So I want to put a caveat here because you do not want to over-optimize too early when you're building funnels. And I'm assuming if you're watching this, you're a little bit newer. But you do want a fundamental understanding of what is going on behind the scenes. So if you don't have some basic tracking set up from your like actual landing page over to the call to action, to the form, to actually scheduling, then what happens after that, your show rate, your close rate, stuff you should automatically have. But the beauty of this is all you have to do is open up the analytics, look at it, see where people are falling off, see where your funnel is leaking, very simply, and plug the hole. That is it. And then you're gonna start making more money without needing more views. So that's very, very simple. You've got the funnel here. Let's say people are falling out. Let's say there's 3 stages. Let's say people are falling out right here. Okay, all you do is plug this leak, and then more people start coming through. And now when more people come through, the funnel gets wider and more cash falls out of the bottom. All right, I know that's a terrible illustration, but you kind of get the point. And this right here, I don't want you to be overwhelmed. This can be done in 30 minutes with ChatGPT, okay? So you don't need to be a tech expert. If you ask ChatGPT how to set this up, it will show you step by step. It's that simple. The fourth thing is only having one confirmation text or email, okay? Okay, so the reason this is so important is because, like I said earlier with the thank you page, just because somebody booked in, just because they had intent at one moment in time, does not mean they're gonna show up to that call. So this is important. And when you're starting out, when you're newer, you want to scale the unscalable. And so you don't need to have a bunch of automation set up with Go High Level. You don't need to fire off 5 different emails and 5 different texts. That's not the point. What I would do if I was just starting out is when somebody fills out my form, I would text them myself and send them a voice memo or even a video of yourself talking about them and even their situation that they filled out on the form so they know it's personalized to them specifically. Okay, and so I understand that's not scalable, but that doesn't matter. If you're not making 30K a month at least, you can 100% talk to individually every single lead that comes to your pipeline. Send them a text, send them a voice memo, send them a video of yourself. Do it because the returns on it are so high. And then later down the line, you can automate this with Go High Level. So not a huge deal, pretty simple to do. The last thing is a calendar embed with the form. My handwriting is getting worse and worse, guys, I apologize. But the calendar and form, you want them embedded. So what I mean by the calendar and form embed is when somebody first lands on that page and they fill out your application, that form right there. If they can fill out those questions, whether it's 1, 3, 5, 7 questions, they fill out those questions and then they can book a call with you right there, that is perfect. Okay, if they have to get sent from one page to another, let me kind of show you what this will look like. So you have the application here. Let's call this the app. If they fill this out and then they get redirected to a whole separate page, call that the calendar, page number 2. If they get redirected to this page, there's a high likelihood 50% or more are going to fall off. Okay, so you've just lost 50% of high intent leads filling out your application over to the calendar just because you decided to put it on a separate page. But when you actually integrate it all into one, where you have the application, and then the last step of the application is the calendar itself, they just assume it's the next step in the process and they fill it out. And you'll see that 50% fall off rate is little to none at this point. Okay, so if you're making that mistake, that's something I would urge you to fix. If you're not, don't really worry about it. But when it comes to your business and the different levers you can pull and the things you can change, the things you can optimize, I don't know what's best for you and your business, only you do, right? But if you do want to sit down, we can go through your business together. I have a 20-minute funnel audit for free. If you click the top link in the description, where we can sit down, kind of run through your numbers. And if you don't have any numbers, that's completely okay. I'll show you how to start tracking with the Google Analytics and the Tag Manager. That way you can come back later with some real numbers, and then we can figure out together which levers in your business we can pull to make you the most amount of money with the least amount of effort. But besides that, if you have any other questions, you can drop them in the comments. You can DM me on Instagram, anything like that. So hope you got some value, and I hope to see you in the next one.